goodness sake, I'm really going to have to do something with this stupid alarm clock. Wouldn't you know it, everything's gone wrong this morning. The subway's broken down, there's complete gridlock on the roads, and not a taxi in sight. What a disaster. Oh, but I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Carol, and this is my first day at the Fashion Academy. I still can't believe that Mrs. Stevenson has offered me a place at her academy. Now's the time to really go for it and show what I'm capable of. So I need to try and make a good impression for once. To help me move around the different rooms of the academy, you can use either the keyboard or the mouse. On the keyboard, use the arrow keys to move around and hold down the shift key to run. If you prefer to use the mouse, press the left mouse button to go forward. Then move the mouse to the left and right to turn. To run, hold down the right-hand button. Now, go to the reception and ring the bell. When you want to activate an object, like a door for example, stand in front of it and press the space key or click on the middle mouse button.
Hello, young lady. How can I help you?
Hello, my name's Carol. I've just been accepted at the school and
you're late. I was told to expect you. Our principal, Mrs. Stevenson, is probably waiting for you in her office on the first floor. Allow me to give you a word of advice, though. Don't dilly-dally. To get to the first floor, take the lift at the top of the stairs.
Hello, sir.
Ciao, signorina. The day my head is covered in white hair, you can call me sir. Until then, please, just call me Angelo. To whom do I have the honor?
I'm Carol, and I've just been accepted at the school. Do you know where I can find Mrs. Stevenson?
Well, Carol, I think you'll find Mrs. Stevenson in the fashion design workshop on the second floor. She's giving a lesson in there at the moment. I hope for your sake you're not too late. You'll quickly learn to your cost that our principal is a real stickler for punctuality.
Thank you, Angelo. I'll remember that, and now I'd better run and find her.
Who on earth is that bothering us?
I'm sorry. My name is...
Yes, I know who you are, and you've already made us waste quite enough time as it is.
But I haven't even...
Well, thank you. The tour of the premises is over for today. Thank you for your attention. Young lady, you are in my school, and in this establishment there are rules that must be adhered to. I expect you to follow them to the letter. Sandy, would you please show the young lady to your room?
As you can see, Mrs. Stevenson is very particular about punctuality and rules in general. She's not a tyrant. In fact, she's really nice to us. But she is very strict. It's definitely best to keep in her good books.
Thanks for the tip.
Here's the girls' dorms where you'll be staying. It's not exactly the height of luxury, but it's perfectly comfortable. As well as a nice comfy bed to sleep on, there's a computer which we use to plan our timetables. Take a seat and I'll show you how it works. Now you're at the control panel. This is where you can plan your schedule and check your marks. You have to check this every day. The screen is divided up into 3 sections: a timetable section, an evaluation section, and an averages section. The timetable section allows you to schedule your activities. To book an activity, click on its icon at the bottom of the panel and drag it onto an empty time slot. If you want to remove an activity from the panel, simply right-click on it using your mouse. To start the activity, click on the Start the Day button. Now it's over to you.
Welcome to the Fashion Design Workshop. As indicated in your timetable, each month is devoted to a different fashion trend chosen by your teachers. The trend for this month is ethnic. If you want to get good marks, you must therefore base your designs on this trend. Read the introductory sheet carefully. It will help you make the right choices. By clicking on the sheet, you can close it and continue your tour of the workshop. You are now on the wardrobe screen. This is where you choose the clothes that your model will wear. You can move the camera around with these buttons or with the arrow keys on your keyboard. Use the 3 magnifying glasses to adjust the zoom on your camera. Alternatively, use the scroll wheel on the mouse. Begin by choosing an item of clothing from the selection offered at the top of your screen. Then drag an item of clothing from one of the 2 lists towards the model, and there you have it. Remember, the clothes with a question mark over them must be released in the library. You don't have access to them yet. To remove a piece of clothing from your model, simply click on it. Now practice dressing your model. You can click on this button to visit the Fabric Design Workshop. You are now on the fabric screen. Here you can change the colour and pattern of the clothes your model is wearing. You can also add prints. To add a colour or pattern, simply drag them onto the piece of clothing worn by your model or onto the fabric design box. On the right of your screen is a list of prints that you can paste onto your model's clothes. To add a print, simply drag it over the area of clothing where you want it. To remove a print, select the affected piece of clothing by clicking on it and press on the cross located above on the right-hand side. When you have finished choosing your patterns and colours, you can then choose the accessories to go with your outfit. You are now on the accessories screen. Here you can choose glasses, a hat, a bag, or a pair of shoes. First, choose the type of accessory you would like. Then take an item from this list and drag it onto your model. Finally, you can choose the colour of your accessories from the list on the right-hand side of your screen. Remember, accessories with a question mark over them must be purchased when shopping. To remove an accessory, simply click on it. By clicking on this button, I will tell you what I think of your creation. I will tell you if your outfit is in line with the trend by using the stars at the top of the screen. And that brings us to the end of your training. Don't forget to refer to the trend information sheet when choosing your clothes, patterns and accessories. Now it's over to you. When you're happy with your work, you can leave the workshop by clicking on OK. You can see here if your clothes, patterns, prints and accessories have been correctly chosen. For example, a red cross means that a certain item has not. Comments will be provided with your mark to help you with your creations. Follow my advice and your mark will go up the next time you ask for my opinion on what you've done. You have just completed your first fashion design workshop. Now let's see how you did. This is your mark for this workshop. It goes towards your fashion design average mark. You have also won some tokens that are used as money in the school. In the shopping activity, you can use them to buy new accessories and makeup products. As you can see, the mark you were just given has now appeared in the Evaluation section. Your average mark for fashion design is automatically calculated on the marks you were given for each of your models. Remember, if the mark appears in red, it means that your average mark is below the standard required. Not all of your models are ready yet. It is therefore not surprising that your average mark is not high enough. You can work on a second creation from Friday onwards. The number of tokens you win in your workshops is also displayed. You can use these later when you're shopping in the school boutique. You can now continue your training by going to the beauty workshop.
Welcome to the Beauty Workshop. The aim of this workshop is to reproduce the makeup worn by the model in the photo that you have before you. To find the makeup photo that you need to reproduce, click on the top button. Now choose from one of the following items: foundation, blusher, eyeshadow, or lipstick. Now choose the shade from the right-hand side of the screen. Now all you need to do is to directly apply this to the model's face by holding down the left mouse button. You can also change the model's contact lens color and apply mascara. The shades with a question mark over them can be bought when you go shopping. If you make a mistake, click on this button to undo your last action. You also have 2 products at your disposal to clean the model's face. To make your job easier, don't forget to make use of the tools for moving and zooming in with the camera. When you want to continue with your visit of this workshop, click on the hairdressing icon on the screen. The hairdressing screen allows you to change the style and color of your model's hair. To do this, it couldn't be easier. Choose the hairstyle from the left-hand side of your screen and the color from the right. Be sure to keep an eye on your mark, which corresponds to the number of stars awarded. When you're happy with your chosen hairstyle, click on the manicure icon. Now it's over to you. The manicure screen allows you to take care of your model's nail. To file a nail, start by selecting the file. Then, using the mouse, make small movements to the left and right of the nail while holding down the left mouse button. To move from one nail to the next. To apply nail varnish, select the nail varnish from the left-hand side, then choose the shade from the right. Apply the nail varnish by holding down the left mouse button. You can remove the nail varnish with the nail varnish remover tool. Now, no more chatting. I'll leave you to get on. When you're happy with your makeup, hairdressing, and manicure marks, you can leave the workshop by clicking on OK. Perfect! You've completed your first beauty workshop. Now let's see how you did. Here's your mark for this workshop. It will go towards your average beauty mark. You have also won some tokens that you can use to buy new products in the shopping activity.
Ciao and welcome to the photo workshop. In this workshop you need to take 10 photos that will be marked. You are currently in the settings screen. Here you can choose the decor of your shot, your model's pose, or the settings of your camera. On the left of your screen you can choose the type of pose that you want your model to strike. On this list you can select your decor. But be careful, Your choice must be in line with the trend of the month. Otherwise you'll lose points. On the right of your screen, you can adjust your camera. You can use a color filter and change the scene setting, portrait or landscape. When you're happy with your settings, switch into photo mode by pressing the spacebar on your keyboard. You can move from one mode to another at any point by pressing the spacebar. Now you're in photo mode, ready to photograph your model. In my profession, we call this a photo shoot. To change the viewing angle of your camera, simply move your mouse around. To move around your model, use the left and right arrow keys on your keyboard. And to move the camera up or down, use the up and down arrow keys. To zoom in and out, use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Finally, to take a photo, click on the left mouse button. Before each shot, a small image will show you the type of composition required to get a good mark. There are 3 composition types: portrait, bust, and full body. A triangular icon will sometimes appear in the top left of your camera viewer. This means the model is moving and that your photo could be blurred. This icon also appears if you're moving your camera. You have a total of 10 photos on your film. Once you finish your film, we'll take a look at your new book. Now, it's over to you. Good. You've finished your film, and now here you are in the book. Here, you can view the photos you took by clicking on their icons. You can also save your photo to your desktop by clicking on the Save button. You can then send it to your friends or even print it. When you finish looking at your book, click on the OK button and you will proceed to the score screen. You've just completed your first photo workshop. Now, let's see how you did. Here's your mark for this workshop. It will count towards your average photo mark. As with the other workshops, you have also won some tokens that you can use to buy new products in the shopping activity.
Welcome to the library workshop. Together, we are going to discover the world of fashion. Come and see me in my office. I'm going to ask you some questions which you must answer. If you answer correctly, you'll win some new clothes from the fashion design workshop.
think it's time I got to know the other students better and even perhaps made a few new friends. Sandy told me that everyone hangs out in the entrance hall in their free periods. So let's go!
Hi, Carol. Is everything going okay?
Yeah, it's going well, but I still need a bit more time to get used to how the school works. And I haven't even met everyone yet. Having said that, I'm starting to feel more comfortable here. How about you? How are you?
Tired. I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep a wink last night after what happened yesterday.
Why? What happened?
Haven't you heard? Someone took a pair of scissors to the outfits in the new collection. You'd have to be crazy to do something like that. And who knows, the culprit could still be in our midst.
How and why would someone have come to our fashion design workshop to destroy our clothes?
I haven't got a clue. It could be the work of a madman or an act of sabotage by a rival school. Who knows?
Hi, Carol. Have you read this month's fashion magazine? It just came out this morning. It's an absolute scandal.
A scandal? No, I haven't read it yet. Why?
I flipped through it this morning, page after page, and you know what I saw? Or rather, what I didn't see?
I don't know, but I've got a feeling you're going to tell me.
Not one single photo signed by Carol. What a bunch of idiots. Not a trace of my best student.
I really appreciate your confidence in me, but considering I've only done one photo class, it's perhaps a little early to be appearing in fashion magazine, don't you think?
A great photo comes from a passion for beauty. And I've got an eye for that. I can tell the difference between a photographer who has talent and one who hasn't.
I don't know if I was born a good photographer, but I am convinced you were born a smooth talker. Hi, it's me, Carol.
After your spectacular entrance the other day, I don't think anyone could have forgotten who you are.
It wasn't my fault. I had some transport problems.
Don't go making excuses to me. Frankly, I couldn't care less why you were late. Go and tell Mrs. Stevenson. She's the one who runs this academy, not me.
Wow, what a lovely welcome. I'm delighted to meet you, Martin.
Look, a word of advice. We're all competing in the same race here, and only one of us is going to win it. If you're trying to make friends, let me tell you, this isn't the place to do it. And if you try to compete with me, I can honestly tell you, you'll be wasting your time.
Could that be fear I hear in your voice? You're scared I'm going to steal the limelight from you, aren't you?
Me? Scared? Don't be ridiculous. Let's see how we compare on the catwalk. That should help get your ideas back in line.
Me against you. Great. I'm all for it. Just show me the way.
Are you challenging a classmate without even knowing how a model should walk down the catwalk? That seems very risky to me, especially when you're up against a student as gifted as Martin. You might need some advice. So, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Use the mouse to move your model down the catwalk. To turn, move the mouse left or right, and to walk, press the left mouse button. You can also move your model by using the arrow keys on your keyboard. To do the perfect catwalk, you need to know how to walk in a straight line. You must strictly adhere to the arrows marked out on the floor. Do not stray from them. And try not to fall off the catwalk. On the catwalk, you'll be asked to strike poses or stop in the correct way. These are represented by images containing a letter. When you reach a symbol, press the matching key. Along the catwalk, you will also come across bonuses represented by hearts. When you walk over these, press the space bar. Finally, as you walk down the catwalk, you can keep track of your mark on your screen. Now, it's over to you. Congratulations, young lady. You've completed your training. You can now organize your timetable on your own.
Oh dear, you haven't got the hair colour that the teachers want. When you go shopping, you could buy it and finish your model's hairstyle. Oh dear.
This is no ordinary day. The young film actor, Steve Anderson, is coming to visit us at the Academy. It's the first time that I've met a star of his caliber, and I must admit that the tension is starting to mount. And yes, even I am a little nervous.
Steve, it's so good to see you here. How are you? It seems like a lifetime since you were last here. Let me look at you. You look stunning.
Thank you, Mrs. Stevenson. You really are too kind. You're as bad as my mother sometimes. But you're neglecting your duties. To whom do I have the honor?
I'm Carol, Mr. Anderson.
Enough of the Mr. Anderson, please. Call me Steve. After all, we're practically the same age, aren't we?
Oh my God, Steve, you're injured. Carol, do something. Don't just stand there. Run and get something from the medicine cabinet. Quick!
Yes, Mrs. I've got to find that medicine cabinet as fast as I can. But where shall I start? Oh, Sandy, you're here. I'll be brief. Steve is hurt. Do you know where the medicine cabinet is?
Of course, it's in the bathroom at the end of the dormitory on the second floor.
Thanks. At your service. Oh no, this can't be happening. The medicine cabinet is locked. Who on earth would lock a medicine cabinet? I need to find the key. Perhaps someone knows where it's kept. Martin, Steve's face is cut and I can't find the key to the medicine cabinet. Do you know where it's kept?
So, our national starlet has cut his face. What a tragedy. I'm devastated. But given the wads of notes he carries around with him, I think he can probably afford to buy a bandage to dress his wounds from the local chemist, don't you? Oh, but maybe the lack of red carpet from here to the chemist means he can't go there himself.
This is an emergency, Martin, and you still haven't answered my question.
Sorry, but I regret to tell you I haven't the foggiest idea.
Okay, charming. Nice to know you can count on your friends. How selfish can you get? This door is shut. Sandy, it's urgent. Do you know where the key to the medicine cabinet is kept?
Oops, sorry. I think I forgot to put it back in its place. I'm really sorry. I almost certainly left it on my bed.
Thanks. I'll run and get it. Right, I've got the key. Now all I need to do is open the medicine cabinet. Don't worry, Steve, I'm coming! At last! Let's not waste another minute. Let's go to Steve's rescue. I'm sorry it's taken me so long, Steve, but I had to find the key to the medicine cabinet.
Don't be sorry. I'm really grateful. You've done nothing wrong. I know you did your best.
Who could have done such a thing?
I know I've got fans who do anything for me, but I didn't realize that extended to throwing things at my head.
Actually, what worries me most about this is that I'm not at all convinced you were the target. You've only got 1 week to go before the competition. Don't forget that you need to get the necessary marks in each workshop. So, if your marks are mediocre, make the most of this last week to redo the workshops.
I really won't be that surprised if the two incidents that have occurred over the last few days are connected. First, the slashed clothes. Then, a bronze paperweight hurled through a window. But who were they aiming for? Mrs. Stevenson? Steve? Or who knows, even me? And who could want to harm us? I need to find out more. I'm sure Mr. McAllister can help. I'm going to go and ask him a few questions. Sorry to bother you, Mr. McAllister, but I'm worried about what's been happening at the school over the last few days. I think someone is actually targeting the school. Could we talk it over?
My dear girl, I'm as concerned as you are about what's been going on. But I'm equally concerned about finishing this Anastasia, daughter of the Russian Tsar, costume as quickly as I can. I've got 24 hours to finish it, and my clients are film types, and hardly the patient sort. If you can find me 3 rolls of chiffon, I'd be delighted to assist you in your interrogation, Miss Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. McAllister wants me to bring him 3 rolls of chiffon. That's all very well, but I haven't got the faintest idea what a roll of chiffon looks like. I better not ask him, though. I'll look like an idiot. I'll just have to work it out on my own. Let's go and have a look in the library. There must be a photo of what I'm after in one of those books. Well, I found the book I was after. So that's what chiffon looks like. It's just a basic roll of material. Now all I need to do is find 3 rolls and mission accomplished. Let's go! Oh, Martin, perfect timing. Could you give me a hand, please?
Hey! Can't you see I'm meditating?
Sorry to have bothered you. I'll do it myself.
It's alright. The damage is done now. What did you want exactly?
You wouldn't by any chance know where I could get a hold of a roll of chiffon.
Oh, that's all, is it?
Please, Martin.
Okay. I'm not sure, but I think I saw one lying around in the makeup room this morning. If you hurry, it might still be there.
Thanks, Martin. I'll leave you to get back to your meditation. Sorry to bother you, Eleanor, but you wouldn't happen to know where I could find some chiffon, would you?
Well, what have we here? The new girl, Mrs. Stevenson's rare find, here in person. Given how very talented you are, I find it hard to believe that you can't manage on your own.
I suppose that means you won't help me.
Precisely. Now get out of here.
Sandy, I need some chiffon. Do you know where I could find a roll?
You're in luck. I just used a roll of it in my show last week. Go and have a look in the photo workshop. I think I left a roll in there.
Thanks, Sandy.
At your service.
Here are the rolls of chiffon you asked for, Mr. McAllister.
Wonderful. Now, given the time you saved me, I think I can spare you a few minutes. I'm all ears.
Thank you, sir. As I said, I think someone wants to harm the academy. I don't know why, but someone is doing their utmost to damage the school's reputation. Now, it's just a theory, but I think it's what makes most sense. Do you think a rival school could be behind all this?
No, I honestly don't. Yes, we have our rivals, but I really don't think a school would risk so much for so little. Imagine what would happen to them if they were found out. They would probably be closed down then and there, and whoever was responsible would be completely discredited. You'd have to be mad to risk your career in school just to get in the way of the competition.
Has the academy ever had any run-ins with an employee or a student who might want to get their own back?
Not that I know of. You know, in contrast to the fashion house that used to own this building, our school has had a fairly uneventful run of things. No big dramas.
What fashion house?
I thought Mrs. Stevenson would have told you about it, but she obviously hasn't.
What are you talking about, Mr. McAllister?
Well, I think now is the time to tell you a little more about the history of this building. Our academy has only been here since 1993. It's not an old school, but this building is a lot older than that, and used to be home to a fashion house before we set up.
What happened? Why did the fashion house close down?
There was a scandal. In 1988, its owner, Mr. Bernstein, was accused of counterfeit. Allegedly, he copied whole collections from a New York fashion house. Mr. Bernstein was sentenced by the courts to pay a huge sum of money to the designer of the collections, and as a result, his company was forced to shut down. The building was empty for a few years, but then it was renovated and put up for sale, which was when Mrs. Stevenson bought it to set up her academy.
Perhaps Mr. Bernstein hasn't been able to accept seeing his building bought up to be turned into a school.
Perhaps, but Mr. Bernstein died 5 years ago. He's therefore not a suspect. The assailant's identity remains a mystery, my dear, but I'm sure we haven't heard the last of them.
This can't go on. Someone's got to stop them from causing more damage. But I don't want to hold you up any longer. I know you've got a lot to do. Thank you for having spared me some of your time, Mr. McAllister.
Glad to be of help, my dear.
Congratulations! Your score means that you qualify to take part in this month's competition. Now you are going to have to put on a fashion show to showcase your designs. You've got 2 chances. If you fail, unfortunately you won't be able to continue your training at the academy. Work hard, and good luck!
Go easy! Just because you pulled off your first fashion show doesn't mean you have to strangle me!
Oh, Sandy, I'm so happy! If only my mother could see me now. She'd be so proud of me.
If you ask me, it was just beginner's luck.
And we all get lucky at some point. It's inevitable.
So don't go getting ahead of yourself, sweetie. Pulling off one fashion show means nothing.
Wow, with friends like you, who needs enemies?
Right now, I'm very proud of you. Congratulations on your first fashion show. You did an excellent job. But now's not the time to rest on your laurels, because you'll need to do even better next time around.